Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Oman National Museum and the Russian Heritage Museum signed a training agreement. The challenges facing the pomegranate crop in Al Jabal Al Akhdar topped the discussions of horticultural practices for pomegranate tree seminar in the governorate of Al Dakhliya. And with the participation of 16 countries, the second international exhibition for craft industries is opened in Muscat. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency Paramasivam Barlan Vyapuri, acting President of Mauritius, on his country's National Day. The Sultanate signed an agreement for vocational training between the National Museum and the Hermitage Museum in the Russian city of St. Petersburg. That came during the Sultan's hosting of Hermitage Day event, which is part of the Memorandum of Understanding between the National Museum of the Sultanate and the Hermitage Museum in the Russian Federation. A number of Eastern-oriented antiques from Russian Caesars were displayed. The hosting of the Hermitage Day at the National Museum comes in the context of activating the axis of international relations between the Sultanate and the Russian Federation. The event includes a series of cultural activities and was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Haytham bin Tariq Al Saeed, Minister of Heritage and Culture, Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the National Museum. The challenges that face the pomegranate crop in Al Jabal Al Akhdar in Al Dakhliya Governorate topped the discussions of horticultural practices for pomegranate tree seminar, which was witnessed in participation from a number of academics from Sultan Qaboos University and specialists from the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth. Our reporter Saleh bin Khalfan Al Rahbi has more details in the following report.
Pomegranate is an important economic source for Al Jabal Al Akhdar farmers. To determine the reality and challenges of pomegranate cultivation, the Omani Society for Pomegranate Farmers in Al Jabal Al Akhdar, in collaboration with the Directorate General for Agriculture and Animal Wealth in Al Dakhliya Governorate, organized a seminar on horticultural practices for pomegranate trees.
It was a good gesture to meet farmers from the Jabal Al-Akhdar and from the Society of Pomegranate in Jabal Al-Akhdar. We've listened very carefully to a number of suggestions and recommendations, and we are taking them seriously with us, so we see how we can put them in a timetable for implementation. But by and large, we are witnessing a growth, a steady growth in the number of trees. Particularly olive, the number is increasing in phenomenal numbers from few hundreds to several thousands to 15,000 in 5 years' time. It shows the potential of this area, and we are working to improve and to increase the number of trees, pomegranate as well as olive.
The event included 2 sessions, during which 4 working papers were presented on the reality of fruit tree cultivation in Al Jabal Al Akhdar, pomegranate tree pests and diseases, and water situation in Al Jabal Al Akhdar.
I give introduction about the crops here and its importance, and then about the important pests that can make severe infection, like butterfly of pomegranate, and what we did as experiment and program for controlling this disease. Which we started with as a 3 program for controlling this pest, as a biological control, using natural enemies, predators for controlling this pest, like Telenomas, Trichogramma, and also how can we control this disease by using mechanical control, like covering the fruits by green nets, to prevent the infected fruits to make their eggs in the fruits.
My paper focused on the challenges that the farmers faced here in Al-Jabal Al-Akhdar actually, and the opportunities that the farmers can get from that crops, and also discuss with other institutes like Sultan Qaboos University, Minister of Agriculture, Royal Court, and together with the Farmers Society, the biotic and abiotic stresses that they are facing on their crops, and how to solve those problems in the future.
The sessions of the seminar also included discussions on the challenges and obstacles faced by the pomegranate farmers, ways to address them, and to search for expertise and technical information related to the pomegranate crop. Pomegranate is not only a heritage, but also a source of livelihood for the farmers of Al-Jabal Al-Akhdar. The seminar is to increase farmers' awareness to employ scientific methods in order to get better yields of the product. From Al-Jabal Al-Akhdar, صالح بن خلفان الرحبي الداخلية Governorate.
Child rights and ways of protecting him were discussed in a seminar on child protection from violence in the Wilaya of Rostaq in the Governorate of South Batna. It focused on laws and legislations in the field of childhood and practical measures to protect children, in addition to the role of domestic institutions and work mechanisms in the field of protecting childhood in order to activate child rights and set recommendations and suggestions for the work program for those institutions. It also discussed the necessity of child protection, introduced their rights, and spread awareness about all topics related to children. The seminar was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Saif bin Mohammed Al-Shabibi, Minister of Housing, also reviewed the legal protection that the child enjoys. With the participation of 50 organizations and establishments concerned with handicraft industry, the second edition of International Exhibition for Crafts Industries was opened in Muscat. 16 countries took part in the event, which a number of handicraft products made out of clay, wood, silver and copper, in addition to textiles, were displayed. The craftsmen managed to put a modern touch on these products, which attracted handicraft lovers from various world countries. The exhibition aims to promote handicraft products and find marketing outlets for craftsmen. It included 49 platforms for marketing and selling handicraft products. The Nama Holding Group announced in a press conference the end of the first stage of the program for allocating electricity companies affiliated to the group by receiving 25 investment applications from Asia, Europe and North America. The program includes selling 70% of the shares of the following companies, namely Muscat Majan, Mazoon and Dhofar Power, as well as 49% of shares of Oman Electricity Transmission Company. This step came within the framework to enhance the role of electricity sector in the Omani economy, as well as to attract the latest technologies and developments in this field. Still to come in our news bulletin. The National Records and Archives Authority honors the 8th batch of citizens who initiated to record their documents in the authority.
Why is competition good for businesses? Businesses compete in things like price, quality and service to win new customers who could be other businesses as well as consumers. Being competitive can mean more customers choose you rather than your rivals. But when businesses collude and don't compete, this can lower down the quality and service, and the consumers paying more than they should. This is an unlawful practice and can stop consumers from getting more options on goods and services with better quality and better prices. That's why the Competition Protection and Monopoly Prevention Law was issued to regulate the freedom of practicing any economic activities and stabilize the principles of the market rules and freedom of pricing in such manner that the same shall not restrict competition, prevent the same or be negatively affected, thereby to benefit consumers, businesses, and the national economy. Breaching any of the law's clauses could lead to prison sentences and fines up to 100,000 Omani riyals. The punishment can also include paying 10% of the total annual sales of the products subject of the violation, as well as damage to the business's reputation. Help us in preventing anti-competitive activities by contacting the following numbers. And to know more about the law and the prohibited activities, please visit our website www.cmc.om. Competition Protection and Monopoly Prevention Center.
Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Issues related to terms in Arabic language are being discussed by the 4th Scientific Conference organized by the Arabic Language and Literature Department at Sultan Qaboos University. 50 researchers from various Arab countries are taking part in the event. It aims to deal with some problematic issues related to terminology in Arabic language. From various studies, researchers pointed out to some mistakes in translating some terms into Arabic from English and French languages. The conference also discussed the impact of technology on terminology as well as to unify Arabic terms. The inauguration ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Khalid bin Omar Al Marhoun, Minister of Civil Service. After achieving a number of international awards in the field of tourism, the Sultan's participation in activities of Berlin Tourism Exhibition were concluded in the German capital Berlin. The exhibition organizer committee selected the Sultanate to be an official partner for the ITB Berlin 2020. The Sultanate was placed in the list of awards of Arab Tourism Media Oscars in its 11th round by securing 7 awards in various fields. The Arab Tourism Media Center announced the list of winners during its participation in Berlin Tourism Exhibition. The awards included the Golden Pen Award for Excellence in Tourism Fields, the Best Radio Presentation and Arab Tourism Programs, Best News Investigation Award, Best Press Dialogue Award, and the Best Newspaper Article Award. The Military Technological College organized the Orientation Week for the General Diploma students. The Advising and Training Faculty at the college acquainted the new students with the program of the week and took them in the tour that includes various departments and facilities of the college. The students also were briefed on the available specialization at the college and registration procedures. The activities of the Orientation Week were held under the auspices of Her Highness Dr. Taghreed ibn Turki Al Said. In order to upgrade the performance level of employees and enhance their job capabilities, the Ministry of Regional Municipalities and Water Resources launched the electronic system for training needs guide. It is a qualitative step in rendering training services to employees. It monitors the identity the training needs as per an accurate and comprehensive approach. It will also achieve fairness in selecting and promoting employees on the sideline of the launching ceremony. An exhibition was organized that showcased the role and efforts being exerted by the Human Resource Department Center in upgrading capabilities and skills of employees. The National Records and Archives Authority, NRAA, held a ceremony in the Government of Muscat to honor the 8th batch of citizens who initiated to record their documents in the authority. The ceremony came within the framework of the authority's awareness on the significance of national documents in terms of preserving the Omani history. The NRAA is exerting great efforts to collect such national documents from citizens around the Sultanate so as to preserve them in its database. The Career and Training Opportunities Fair started at the College of Banking and Financial Studies. It was organized by the college to showcase the work and training opportunities available to students in the labor market. Around 20 government and private institutions in the field of banking took part in the fair. The event was accompanied by a number of discussion sessions as well as lectures on skills necessary to join the labor market. It came to offer various jobs and training opportunities to the college students so as to help them choose the best specialization required in the labor market. Now for the general weather focused around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorate. Winds will be northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Oman National Museum and the Russian Hermitage Museum signed a training agreement. The challenges facing the pomegranate crop in Al Jabal Al Akhdar topped the discussions of horticultural practices for pomegranate trees seminar in the governorate of Al Dakhliya. And with the participation of 16 countries, the second international exhibition for crafts industries is opened in Muscat. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studios and the newsroom, it's good night.